Hello, 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 and welcome to the Dear Diary podcast. I'm your host, Katie, and I'm so excited that you guys decided to tune in and join me as I go along this new journey with this podcast. And I just thought the best way to start this episode, number one, to be exact, is to really introduce myself and give you guys a background of who I am and even why I wanted to start a podcast in the first place. I just wanted to say that I have been so nervous but so ready at the same time to start. It's kind of like when you ride in a roller coaster and you getting on the line and you in the line and you like, I can't wait, I'm nervous, but I can't wait. And then you finally get to the top and it's your turn and you just like, oh snap, like I'm really next and it's really my time to go. Like it's been like that for me for the past couple years, like in line, really digging deep about what I want to put out there, what I want to say, and finding value in my voice. I feel like I have definitely struggled finding my voice and throughout my whole life. Not that I didn't value myself, it's just that growing up the way I grew up, everybody has a story, and just having issues with expressing my emotions and expressing who I am and putting myself out there has always been something that I've struggled with. And I definitely find myself becoming empowered with starting this podcast and not just trying to really find my voice, but trying to value my voice and value the things that I say and value the things that I think. And that's another thing that I wanted to really put out there, is that this is all about finding value in yourself and who you are as an individual, and just being truly you, the transparent you, most vulnerable you, because that is what I believe is what really touches people the most. And just me with this podcast and just me putting myself out there, and I think time to time, like, oh my gosh, like who gave Katie a mic? Like who decided to put Katie on a mic? Like that's sometimes what my brain tells me sometimes, like Katie got a couple loose screws, okay? Katie definitely has a couple loose screws, and sometimes you might be like, oh, hold on, Katie, what she say in her mouth? But it's all love and it's all fun and it's all just like when you said what you finally had to say and you finally just be able to breathe. Like that's how I really want this podcast to feel. Like I just wanted to feel like you talking to your homegirl, like, girl, can I tell you about today? You know what I'm saying? And I'm just so excited to really embark this journey with you all and just getting to know a little bit about me. Like I am 24 years old. I am from Baltimore, Maryland. And if you ask me to say that number, you're anti-black. You are anti-black for sure. And I'm calling you out because absolutely not. We are not bullying on this podcast. But yes, I'm from there, and I am a graduate student at Bowie State University, and I did my undergrad at Virginia State University. And I am definitely an advocate on having your experience and your college experience at HBCU. It definitely built me up to who I am, and everything that I've been through my life and with college and helping me develop in that weird transition of being 18 to now in your 20s, I would definitely say it definitely helped me grow in all aspects of life, of joining organizations and networking. And even with my major in general, I'm a psychology major, so that's definitely a passion of mine. And I definitely do believe that the reason of me having this passion of understanding what people where they are and understanding why people do what they do, and also just relationships. I find myself always finding my passions in relationships and people. And it's not just with romantic relationships, friendships, family dynamics. Like I know for sure that I am a person who's definitely filled with a lot of passion, a lot of love, a lot of fun, and a lot of laughter, a lot of pain. And yes, so just also with getting to know me, I'm definitely a person, I'm an old soul, okay? I know I'm 24, but everything that I've been through and just my interests in life, I feel like I'm like a 50-something-year-old soul in a 24-year-old body. Like that's really how I feel sometimes. Just my interests, like the music that I listen to, the things that I watch, all that type of stuff really is really back in old times. Like I know some people be like, oh, I've always listened to old school music, and I'd be like, oh girl, when you finally think you connected with somebody, you like, oh girl, for real, like what you listening to? And they be like, oh, I listen to Aaliyah, I listen to, and I'm like, Aaliyah, we love Aaliyah. Don't get me wrong, we stand for Aaliyah, but girl, I'm thinking you talking about old school like 80s, the 70s. I'm over here still listening to the Whispers. I'm over here listening to Bobby Caldwell. I'm over here listening to Johnny Gill. That's who I'm listening to. Like I still bump that to this day. So I'm definitely old, and it's also who I grew up around as well. My mom and my dad had me in later stages of life, so when they was in the car, they was bumping Kim, they was bumping Jill Scott, and I love Jill Scott. That's one of my favorite artists, by the way. And those are who I was listening to. And also another thing about me is I'm also African American and Caribbean, so Jamaican to be exact. Wagwan to all my people. And just the mixtures of those cultures in general really created me in when it comes to my values and thought processes as well. And that will be also probably explained more later on in the episodes. So I definitely listen to all types of genres of music. I definitely grew up in different cultures as well. So I definitely love Hispanic music. I definitely love pop music. I love music in general. Music is one of the things that really helps me keep going in life. Like soon as, even when it comes to sounds and listening to relaxing music for doing studying or relaxing music to go to bed, like music is definitely a part of my life and it's definitely therapeutic. And I just love music. I love to dance. I think that's another reason why I love a little 1-2. You little girl got some rhythm, you know what I'm saying? Another thing about me is that I'm a person, I care and love everybody. Literally, like I'm not a person to discriminate. I'm not a person to go against any other people's beliefs. I'm definitely a Christian and I talk about God a lot, and if that's something that you're not comfortable with, I completely understand. But I'm open to all religions and all cultures and all ethnicities. Like I'm not a person to discriminate or judge. And the reason why I started Dear Diary podcast is because when I was young, my mom passed away at a very young age, and my grandma also passed away at a very young age. So I've definitely been through a lot of trauma. And I remember for Christmas, I was over my uncle's house, and one of my aunts gifted me a book, and it was a blank book. It wasn't, it was a journal. And I was really confused. I'm like, I'm looking for the toys. I'm looking for, what I'm saying? I'm looking for the gadgets. I'm looking for the doll babies. I'm looking for, And when she gifted me the journal, she could tell that I was confused, and I was still grateful because, I grew up. You're grateful for everything, okay? So when she gave it to me, she explained to me, she pulled me to the side and she was like, I understand that you have been through a lot. And she was like, you are also a person that doesn't speak much about your emotions or if you're okay and if you're not okay. And she was like, I just want you to know that if you feel like you don't have anyone since your mom is gone, this journal, you can just be who you want to be and express yourself as much as you want to express yourself. And she was like, you write in it, you just say how you feel and call it a day. And for me, it was like, I understood what she was saying, but at the same time, I'm also young, so I'm not really understanding the depth of the meaning of what she's saying. And but I was still grateful for the journal. And I promise you, when I had the journal, the first thing I did was start drawing. Like, it wasn't till later on, as I grew older, that I started expressing myself. And it would just be really random. And it would just be, how it would be if you was a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, still learning how to do paragraphs and all that stuff like that. So diaries have always been a part of me. And when you get older, you don't call it a diary, you call it a journal. So diaries/journals has always been a part of me. And I definitely found myself, the older I have gotten, the more use I have of them. And even with diaries, I feel like that's the way that I have been the most vulnerable with myself, the most honest I have been with myself and my emotions, especially me struggling just to talk about my emotions in general. Just knowing that I had a safe space in my diary definitely made me feel better when it came to with struggles of the things that I've been through and all of the stuff like that. So diaries has always been a big thing in my heart. And I feel like with the topics that I want to discuss and just getting to know you guys and hearing what you guys want to discuss, I feel like what's a better way with the podcast with creating a safe space to talk about these type of things with no judgment and with clarity and with support, And with Dear Diary, it's just more so of a Dear Diary, like this will happen today, or this is what's going on in this world, and I'm going through this, and this is how I'm feeling, and I want to know how you're feeling too, So I have definitely found my passions of where I wanted to go, and I felt like the Dear Diary podcast, the title was perfect because I don't really have an angle of what I want to talk about. Is not so narrow as everyone else is as far as like tips to do this or lifestyle changes to do this. No, I'm just really here to speak on the things that I feel and that are very important to talk about. Things that I've seen and witnessed that I see that people are struggling with, and so am I. And I feel like it's important to share light on that. And those are like the main reasons why I want to start this podcast. And I am hoping and praying as the episodes go along and as the podcasts go along that we are healing as well as we are discussing and unpacking all of the things that we've been through, and I'm me sharing my story so that you guys can understand that you guys are not alone, and just talking about my testimony as well. Just hoping that everything that we unpack, that we also have the tools to be able to help us later on in life. And that is the main purpose of this podcast, and I am so excited to continue this journey with you guys. I'm so excited to see what is to come of the podcast. The goal was to do videos and do the audio, and I'm having technical difficulties with the video, so as of right now I'm going to let you know that it is going to be audios only for now. And the goal is to continue to show my face on social media platforms is also because I definitely feel like having the videos and the audios is definitely something of a more personal experience. But I am praying as soon as I figure out this technical difficulty with this video, that you still feel that connection through audio and hearing me, and still, I'm putting a face to a name. I'm not hiding who I am. I'm a proud plus size Black African American / Caribbean, and I am here to chat it up with you. And I'm so grateful that you guys are tuned in into this episode, and I'm hoping that you guys continue to tune into the rest of the episodes. And I'm so excited to start this journey with you all. I keep saying it because that's how I really truly feel. And just thank you. And I just can't wait till we tune in for more for episode 2.